Hello again, and welcome back to Taya's Christmas Villages. I know I said they would not be frequent, but here's the next video. I've already gotten started with something that I thought might be of interest to you if you're interested in upgrading your Christmas village from good to excellent. And that is, I've been doing a lot of research online about dungeon tiles. Now, the gamers who are big into Dragons and Dungeons build these futuristic, fantastic looking dioramas, and their basic building block are dungeon tiles. And I really like the look of those dungeon tiles, mostly because they're so realistic, but also because they add a real ambiance to the diorama. So I thought I'd get started right away with making a number of dungeon tiles, and hopefully I can do it so that they will snap together with magnets. I'm not quite sure how that's all going to work out because I'm just flying by the seat of my pants as usual, but this is what I'm going to show you what I'm doing. I started with plain cardboard, and I got cardboard from a retail outlet that was throwing all this cardboard away, and I looked for a really thin cardboard. It's not the typical thickness of the cardboard boxes that they throw away, but these are quite thin pieces of cardboard. And I picked up a bunch of these sheets and I've cut them into different sizes. Now, you have to play around with what size interests you. And most of the dungeon tiles that I've seen made on these crafting YouTube videos are quite large. But I don't want the large ones because the main purpose for my dungeon tiles will be for the town square, where you have a center and you have people sitting in benches, and you'll have something in the center like a fountain or a Christmas tree or something of that sort. And so I wanted the dungeon tiles to be quite small. So I've made these bases for the dungeon tiles, and they're basically, the squares are 3 inches by 3 inches, or if you're into not into imperial metric, they are 7.5 centimeters by 7.5 centimeters. And the squares themselves, let me put my glasses on because this is quite tiny. The squares themselves are about 1.5 centimeters by 1.5 centimeters. And you draw them out with a pencil, like so. And then what will happen is you will either make the separate bricks out of styrofoam, or you'll make the square like this and then transfer this grid onto the styrofoam square and then glue them together. And on the sides of the styrofoam, you will put little magnets so that the dungeon tiles will just click together. Now this one's quite small, but I like that look better than large for my town square. The other places that you can put these are in front of stores and homes where there's no cobblestone walkway, but that they have the base there. And you have to be able to add the evergreen trees and the leafless deciduous trees onto these. That's why we're going to make them out of styrofoam, so you can just poke the trees through. It will give a little bit of a better base on the village floor than just the white styrofoam looking like snow. You can add snow to these and it really makes it look nice. So this is my next project, and this is very, very finagly. So like I have a stack here in front of me of about that many, and I'll be drawing the squares on one of them, but then I need to go to Home Depot or a hardware outlet just to see what kind of styrofoam they have. It's very, very particular what type of styrofoam you need. I only want 1/2 an inch thick, so like it's only going to be so thick, 1/2 an inch thick. You see, I don't want them to be really tall because then your flooring will be quite big tall compared to the rest of the diorama, and I don't really want that. So I want 1/2 inch styrofoam sheets, and then I will cut them up, precision cutting, which is a trick. I've had to buy some extra tools for that. I don't have the table with the hot wire tools, but I bought a set of extra carving tools for that. And these are just available in a dollar store. or if you're into Temu, you can buy them at Temu as well. But these are just like, I think they were $2.75 or something at the dollar store. And you've got a number of blades that you can use as well. And I'll be cutting the styrofoam with this cutting set, precision cutting, making sure that they're the right size, and then scoring them with a pencil with this grid on top. Where's the one with the grid? With this grid on top. And then taking a hot glue and just attaching them to these cardboard bases. The reason why you want the bases is to keep the tile a little bit more firm. If you have just styrofoam tiles, dungeon tiles, they tend to be a little bit flimsy. So this will give it a little bit more stability. That's the first step. So it's now a couple of hours later, and I've been to Home Depot, and I actually picked up some rigid styrofoam slabs to make my dungeon tiles out of. It's RD3 and it's purple, and I'll show you a picture of it here. Bye.